What's up, you guys? We are Vilamoura, and this is Heavy Mental Breakdown.
Welcome, you guys. I'm actually really stoked to do this one. I'm actually a pretty decently big fan of your music. I love it.
Nice.
It's really fun to listen to. I enjoy the videos and reels you guys have been putting out. It seems like you're very on top of socials.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so who does all that? Like who's the one who kind of runs your socials and does all this for you? Because whoever's doing it needs a pay increase.
Yeah, he does. It's our bass. Our bassist Josh. We try and like help out and tackle what we can where we can. Like Micah works a lot on the Instagram. I do a lot of work on the TikTok, but like by and large, Josh is doing the lion's share of like all social media at all times, and like even with the help me and Micah bring in, like he's handling Instagram and TikTok like half the time as well.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it seems like you guys are loving what you're doing.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Josh Valdez, he does a lot. And so like a lot of we definitely use some people to like shoot videos and shoot like promos and stuff, but for the most part, like Josh Valdez does like all of our like camera work and stuff, and so like we'll go and spend probably like a couple days every month just going through and like making like anywhere between 5 to like 15 videos, and
Wow.
then we'll like try to do a bunch of different versions of that, so that way we have as much social media content as possible, and then also with that, and then like photos from like shows and stuff, and just trying to put forth as much effort into social media as we can, because if we don't do that, then like we're not really going to pick up traction, and we're not really going to do very much. And so
Yeah, well, it definitely seems like you guys have picked up a little bit of traction here.
yeah.
And how awesome is it to have a camera operator in your band?
Dude,
I mean,
oh
that's
my God.
probably massive for you guys.
It's extremely helpful, and I mean, like, so this band has been together for a really long time. We started. I wasn't even in the band when it started. It was like 2012, and I joined in 2013. We took a hiatus in 2016. Got back together in 2021. Since we got back together, a
2016.
lot of a lot of what we've been doing has been like from scratch. Like Valdez, the bassist, he didn't have any like knowledge like meaningfully of like camera work or like video editing or like social media or anything like that. He has his own business. He runs a whole salon.
Oh,
So
wow.
he I think had some experience in that stuff from doing that, but like we have, especially him, but like all of us have come such a long way from like having to learn how to perform, figuring out our live rig and stuff, figuring out all the social media algorithms, and then Valdez learning all the camera work and
Yeah.
like photo and video editing. Like
Yeah.
it's been a lot of growth really, really fast for sure.
Yeah, that is so massive to be able to do it like in house like that, and you can just knock them out on the weekend instead of trying to hire somebody, and because that racks up like that rate for like video work and editing and color and just all the deliverable stuff. Like I'm a videographer and filmmaker, so I get it, and so it's probably massive to have that, and that's a big advantage for you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
advantage.
absolutely.
So you talk about that you took a break from 2016 through 2021. There was a 5-year break there. What was going on?
A lot
Yeah.
of bullshit.
A lot of bullshit,
Yeah.
including a little thing called COVID as well.
Yeah. No. So basically, what happened? I'm not going to go super deep into it. I mean, I can, but for the most part, and in October of 2016, we played our last show as Vilamoura 1.0. And essentially, a couple members wanted, we got a new singer that wasn't John. And this dude ended up being really into what we were doing originally. And then a couple months later down the line, he decided that he wanted to try to take us into a different route. And some of us agreed to kind of do that. So it ended up like failing pretty hardcore, and we have later we've later like grown to resent that whole like hiatus period, essentially. But a lot of people, a lot of us needed to go through that. I think if we would have gotten any kind of success that we have somewhat gotten now, we wouldn't have known what to really do with it. And like, we all weren't very strong like songwriters. We didn't know what we were doing. We also were, I mean, let's see, in 2016, I think I was like 22 or 23 whenever the band first broke up. And like everybody else was like 2 to 3 years younger than me. So like we were all just like super young. We had no idea kind of like what was going on and what we were doing.
What a crazy point in your life too, like at that age of like college and trying to get a job and social expectations and relationships and family and all like everything, and then try fitting in, hey, let's make music. Let's be in a band.
Yeah,
it's wild.
So when I joined the band, I was fresh out of high school, and I wasn't even the youngest member of the band. We had a 15-year-old playing drums for us.
Oh wow.
That shit was crazy, dude.
He was so good too. Like he's still really really good. We he actually quit the band probably in either 2014. Well, no, he quit I think halfway through like 2015 to go and pursue DCI. And he
DCI, what's that?
Yes, it's a Drum Corps International.
Okay.
Think of it as like professional marching band, and so
that's pretty cool, actually.
He went on and did that, and then now is a band director for, I believe he works for like Denton High School or something like that.
Good for him.
He's like super talented. He's phenomenal. And
well, what this sounds like to me is, with, you know, people still being in high school and fresh out of high school, and you guys all doing this so young, taking that 5-year break and then coming back to it, seems like there was something there. Yeah, maybe the pieces just weren't right, but it felt like the band was still kind of destined to happen. And so, maybe it took some time, but that hiatus was something that you guys probably needed to just figure out your life and figure out who you are, not even just as a band, but just as people, as adults, as, you know, and then figure out, okay, if this is the route that I want to go, what do I want to do? Like, do I want to be the screamer, the clean vocalist, or the guitarist or drummer? You know, what role do I want to play? So I think, maybe you might have grown to not like that part of the band's history, but it seems like it needed it. And now you guys have been able to come back, you know, and refreshed and killing it.
Yeah, like we I mean, every single one of us went off and did completely different projects. We did other bands, we did other things, and none of it, I mean, speaking from my perspective, and like none of it felt the same as what we had done originally, and like I always kind of wanted us to get back together, but I never thought that we actually would. And
Mhm.
then we met in it was actually January or either January or March of 2022. We all met up and was like, is this something that we actually can see ourselves doing? Is this something that we want to do? And like all of us were like, let's try it out. I mean,
Hell
I
yeah.
guess.
I
Well,
think
you
guys,
just
we were kids. We didn't know like necessarily what we had. We were taking it for granted, and we all just needed a break, really, to step back and like realize what the band meant to us, and like yeah, that's really just all it was.
so with this project being something that's so special to you all and having to, now bringing it back now just, it's been a couple years now. Um I guess the question is why? Why Vilamoura? Who are you guys? What do you stand for? What do you represent? What are your goals and why did you guys decide to pick it back up?
So that's a very broad question. Like, it's a good question. What is Villamoura? It's
Yeah.
one that we're figuring out how to answer right now. When we got back together, I think the big thought on everyone's mind was it was a couple of things. One, these are the people that, and I think each of us had these thoughts essentially. Like, these are the people that I get along best with when I try to play music. Like, we'd all been in different bands, we'd all been in different projects.
Yeah, the chemistry is super important.
Chemistry, exactly, yes. Also, like, this is the type of music we want to make. We all like grew up on rock, metalcore, post-hardcore, all those types of things, and there were hints of that in the other projects that we were doing, but like none of it was what I think is essentially our core. And as far as message goes, we're all like similarly aged. Like, obviously we just mentioned we had like a 15-year-old in the band at the same time as like a 23-year-old, but like um we're all within the same generation, and between like the millennial generation Z sort of phase, there's a lot of similar like generational traumas and just life experiences. All these people,
Hmm.
we're all people who grew up in COVID. We're all
Yeah.
people who, you know, I'm blanking on all of the different things that have happened in our life. You get what I mean? We've
Yeah.
all had the same experiences, and that's kind of what it has been turning into, that like we want to talk about in our music, and like what is the message of the band, what's the point of what we want to do.
I like how you said you all kind of share the same generational trauma. That was powerful.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the like core message, is like
Yeah.
later when we get into talking about our music, we're getting ready to release an EP, obviously, and like the point of this EP is to start that messaging that like, hey, there's some experiences that I think a lot of us in this like age range have had that isn't really being talked about. This is us starting to talk about that and like open that door.
I like that. Do you guys, besides lyrics, do you guys promote that within yourselves? Like, do you guys talk about this openly with fans or in post or anything? Like, do you take it beyond the music? Because it seems like you guys really do have a message here, and you really do want to get it out and start the conversation, like you said. Besides lyrics, do you guys do anything to kind of help promote the generational trauma or just that aspect of who you guys are and what you're doing?
We're starting to.
Starting to, yeah,
It's something that we've had to like figure out how to navigate, because like
yeah,
I also think something that a lot of us have in common is we grew up on a generation of bands that take themselves way too seriously, and I'm not going to name names, but it's made that kind of thing feel weird for a lot of like the ideas that we had come up with in the past. But like I think all of us are always talking to like our friends and family about the messaging and stuff, and with this EP, it's something that we've been getting more into figuring out how to market, trying to talk about it outside of just letting people hear the music.
Yeah.
That's actually like a big point of what we want to get done here.
I was just gonna say, and this is a place to do that too. This
Exactly.
is doing interviews and podcasts and letting people see who you guys are and why it is what you do. A lot of times, our brains are just so we just want like a very quick visual or like for you guys with reels, like a 30-second reel. Like I just want like a quick thing, and sometimes it's easy to get kind of placed in a certain box, or this is the kind of music that they are. This is probably what they are influenced by, and not really knowing truly what your kind of goal is here in all this. So I think it's huge to do podcasts like this and have a conversation, and that's what the whole thing is, just to talk and have a conversation about your music and why you're doing it. I find myself every day in just everyday kind of conversations in life just asking why did that happen? Why do you think that? Sometimes I drive people nuts by asking that that question. But it's an important question to ask. It's a very important question to ask, especially when it has topics of mental health and in the creative space, because I think a lot of people get into the creative space as creators because there's something in them that's kind of just itching to get out. And it seems like that is what you guys are doing. You're itching to get out these traumas, these topics that you just want to talk about and help, and not only help your audiences but yourselves get through it too.
100%.
So I think that's awesome. So we are here because of a track called Craven. Tell us a little bit about Craven and what this track means to you.
I think that is a job for Huber.
So Craven ultimately is a song that was inspired by heavily inspired by an event that happened to the band specifically. Not really going to get into the entirety of the tale here, just because we don't really need to rehash that and get everybody else involved in it. But basically, it's about kind of recognizing that you have been manipulated by somebody that's been really close to you, and
topic that's very close to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, and the generational trauma thing. We've all been there.
Yeah.
It's and then coming to that realization that they've been manipulating you, and then as you start gathering kind of like the exterior points on the line, everything starts kind of making more sense. And you just kind of get mad at yourself a little bit.
Yeah, because you're like, how come I didn't see this?
Yeah, exactly. So Craven's kind of that internal monologue that you have with yourself, that kind of really hard negative conversation that you have with yourself that kind of just, makes you want to fucking do some stuff you probably shouldn't do, but it's all about just the expression of, just recognizing these things and not really being able to express it in any kind of other way aside from, just getting angry about it. So
I love it on multiple reasons, because I think a lot of us have dealt with some form of manipulation, or have some type of trauma of somebody that we loved or was close to us lie to us, and then now we just question everything. It's like, who do I trust now? I can't trust you. And there was a point where I called a lot of my friends brother. Like, I was like, what's up, brother? It's not good to see you. And then finding out later on, years later, it was like, that was not a brother. Wow. How come I didn't see this? And just like, once you kind of go through something deep like that in your life, you just see every relationship going forward differently.
Right.
You could take it as, okay, now I have to be more reserved. I don't want to let out too much of myself, because then they can use that against me, and then use it exactly like use it against me. So it kind of keeps you in this weird place. Like, you want to be open with people, especially people that you know and you love and trust, but then the trust is kind of a gray area now. So
Yeah.
so I totally get it, and
Yep.
letting out your anger in this type of situation, and taking it out through music is an amazing way to do that.
Big
Yeah.
time.
With me, when my stuff kind of went down, I resorted to just alcohol every night and just not wanting to think about
Right.
what happened, and because a lot of it too was just me being upset with myself. I think when those situations happened with me, it was more internally like, man, how did I let this happen? And it was just like the spiral that I had internally.
Yeah.
And, being able to express those emotions through music, which you guys have done, is really powerful. So I'm excited to listen to it. Why the name Craven? What is Craven?
So, like Huber was explaining, that the like culmination of the song is like, yeah, you've got this person that abused you, you let it keep happening, and now you're having this conversation with yourself where you're just pissed at yourself, and you're like, why do I keep letting this happen? When am I going to get up and do the hard thing and make a change? Craven is a word that means coward. And that's kind of the point of the song, is like, it's almost like the little voice in your head calling you a coward, saying, do something, do better, make the hard choice.
So when you say make the hard choice and you're saying it's a coward, are you saying the person who manipulated you is a coward, or are you kind of saying that internally to yourself and make better choices of who you kind of have around and trust?
Kind of saying it internally towards yourself. You're the coward for not being able to walk away from the relationship.
This is an
You're the
interesting.
coward for
This
not
is an
being
interesting
able to-
flip then, because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of songs are used to be like can be aimed at somebody, where it's like, I can't believe you
Yeah.
did this to me, or because you did this, now I'm like this. This is just putting everything on just yourself.
Right, like I was saying, it's an internal, it's a reflection on an internal monologue that you have with yourself,
Interesting.
and we really wanted to kind of take that route because it's, as you also mentioned, whether we never really discussed it out loud, but it might have been a subconscious decision, but we may have also recognized that the common direction is to aim it at someone else, but
Yeah.
taking a little bit of introspection is always a good thing because
Yeah.
everybody has their faults and things. So
Yeah,
A lot of
after
our
I,
music-
I was just, I was just gonna say, after I went through my thing, I did a lot of I did a lot of like internal, I did a lot of therapy, try to figure out really who I was as a person, and I think that I wouldn't be who I am today, or this podcast wouldn't even exist today, if it wasn't for kind of that internal healing process that I went through. So I
Right.
get it.
And that's really the point. A lot of our music is very self versus self, and I think on the surface, people can hear that and like find out what our songs are about, and it can be kind of like
self
this.
versus self. Interesting.
Yeah, because never mind. I was about to go on a huge tangent. We don't need to do that. But yeah, people will see that, and it'll kind of be this like, yo, dude, why you dogging on yourself like that? Like, you're not the bad guy here. But it's like, that's not really the point.
Yeah.
I think whenever you're manipulated, it's really easy to look at the person who manipulated at you and be like, you're the bad guy. Like, yeah, obviously. We know that. We don't need to have a conversation about that. What we do need to have a conversation about is, why are you letting them keep doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Those kinds of like thoughts, like, if you're stuck in this place, how do we get out? That's kind of what our music tends to be about.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, enough kind of teasing us. Now I'm even that much more excited to listen to this. I haven't listened to this track yet. I've listened to your guys' music, and I've heard like little snippets of it from the reels and stuff on your Instagram, but I haven't like sat down and really listened to the song and the lyrics yet, because I was waiting for this moment to kind of be like, so I can break it down with you, so it can kind of be a brand new thing for me. So
so cool.
Yeah.
kind of a live reaction here. I've heard a little bit of it, and I've heard other tracks, but now you guys have hyped this one up so much. Now I'm ready to dive into Craven.
That's great.
Bet. Let's do it.
All right. Well, this is Craven, the first single off of Vilamoura's new EP. Let's break it down. All right, these lyrics already, like I just feel excited to jump into them. And I sometimes have to remember this podcast isn't about me. It's about like listening to your guys' stories. So sometimes I'm like, yes, this happened to me, and I remember how I felt, so I know what you're talking about.
Dude, no, dude, go off. That's what this stuff is about. Like,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah. All right. Why did I listen to you again? Trusting the part of me that'll never learn. Call it doubt of the benefit. Now I don't see the point of it, because I used to think you were worth it, but honestly, no one is. I used to love how it hurt, but I can't feel it. Why did I listen to you again, trusting the part of me that'll never learn? So when it's you versus you, when you say, why did I listen to you again? It's like, why did I trust this person when they've kind of lied to me and failed me so many times?
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of what that is?
In a way, a lot of the lyrics in this song kind of take a double perspective, because while the song is at its core like a self versus self fight, the lyrics are still very much talking to the abuser. Like when we wrote this song, we very much had the person that like had given us the negative experience like in our heads as like the target of the lyrics. But the lyric content themselves is where the self versus self like conflict comes from, because it's all questions about like, you know, why am I stuck here? Why does this keep happening? Why am I not growing past it? And that's pretty much what the first verse is it's us talking to the abuser and being like, what's wrong with me? Why are you still here? Why am I letting you still be here?
Call it the doubt of the benefit.
Right. So
I like that. It's flipped there.
Yeah.
When I was reading it, I kind of paused. I was like, wait, is that what you guys said?
Yep.
Because it's usually the benefit of the doubt. Now it's doubt of the benefit. Explain that one.
Exactly. So yeah, benefit of the doubt being like, you know, someone does something that seems kind of sus and you assume they have the best intentions in mind anyway. You flip that, and now it's doubt of the benefit. You're doubting the purpose of keeping this person in your life. You're suddenly realizing that like these things that you were, you know, giving extra chances to, like you don't have a reason to keep doing that. It's that sort of thought line.
Interesting how you flipped it there. Did you hear that somewhere, or did you guys come up with that like when you were writing the song?
I had. Now I don't see the point of it in my mind already. And the word benefit popped into my mind as a rhyme, and that led into benefit of doubt. And I was like, oh, wait, I can do a thing here. That's
yeah. I like it, though. But just even the idea of hearing that and then flipping it.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Thank you.
I used to think you were worth it, but honestly, no one is. Now you just don't know who to trust anymore.
Exactly. It's that psychosis like you were talking about earlier.
It's now this big thing just happened to me in my life. How do I just open up my trust again? How to, you know, depending whatever kind of relationship it is, if it's like a romantic one, is how do I open up my heart again to somebody with like this worry of it just being broken, shattered again, my heart just being broken, shattered again. That's kind of where that puts me. I used to think I used to love how it hurt. That line to me is very heavy because you know you're in a bad place, but it's almost like you're addicted to the pain.
Right.
It's like I'm so used to this abuse that like if it doesn't happen anymore, I just feel off.
Exactly.
I don't know how to move forward if I'm not in this bad place anymore.
Like
it just becomes part of you.
Yeah, it becomes part of you. It becomes like the dynamic of the relationship, and it's, if anything changes, it's kind of a scary thing.
Right.
Even if it's a good change.
Yeah.
Which is kind of,
it's like you could
have
all of the introspection in the world and know that this isn't good for you, but what do you mean? Like, this is all that I know. So
yeah,
why? What do you mean? Let go of this. This is what tells me that I'm, that I'm still here. That this is still real. But
like, logically understanding something and emotionally believing in it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a song lyric that I like, and it says, "I just want to feel something, whether it's good or bad."
Yeah.
Whether it's about that too.
Whether it's love or pain.
Yeah.
I just want to feel something, and as long as I can feel something, then I'm doing something right. Yeah. Which we can tend to like think that in our heads, but it's fucked up because even if it's negative stuff, you just learn to live with it and deal with it. And you're like, okay, well, I am alive and I'm doing something and it's making me feel something, and so I'm just gonna, because I'd rather feel this than not feel anything at all.
It's so funny that you're saying all this stuff because you're perfectly describing a completely different song on the same EP that we
have. Oh, well, dude, it's so good because that just means that you guys are like, this is the route that you're going, and this is the true and raw emotion. So, whether everything I'm saying could relate to this song, which I think it can, but it also relates to another song. It just proves that this is the space that you guys are in.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Dope. I feel like this song just puts me right back into that place that I was in. We all kind of have our songs where it's, if I'm happy, I'm going to listen to this. If I'm feeling pissed off, I want to listen to this. If I just want to be in a spot where I'm just letting my emotions go and realizing the things that I've been through or where I'm at, there's those songs that I listen to. And I feel that this would be a track that I would listen to kind of right after something happens or when I'm still heavily going through it, especially the part where it says, will I never be better than this? Because that's putting you right in that spot and just thinking, well, now what?
Yep.
Yeah.
How do I even trust myself?
Right.
If I don't even know if I'll be better than where I'm at right now. Am I the problem? Is this whole thing because of me? Did I let this whole thing just burn and then kill me?
And those are all questions that we asked ourselves in the situation that inspired this song.
Yeah. Don, how are you feeling about these lyrics so far?
So to be honest with you, I am not a lyricist, so I'm not very good at coming up with things, but I think.
But how do you take it though? When you're listening to these lyrics,
it definitely speaks to me in regards to not only the situation that we went through, but also within other situations like that where like it makes you reflect onto yourself and makes you really question, like, will I ever be better? Like, in like going through this certain experience and just going back and realizing whatever abuse that you're going through, like, will you ever be able to break out of that, and will you ever be able to see yourself be better? So
One thing that I pull from what you just said is, I think you have to want to be better.
right,
You know, so it's will I ever be better? You can, of course you can. I think at any point anybody can turn anything around, but it's kind of, you have to want to do it, because if you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it.
exactly.
Preach,
Yeah.
preach, brother.
So like I kind of feel like this song too is, when it says me versus me, you want to have accountability, but because of the manipulation, you don't, you're just kind of in like a daze and like a kind of in a confused spot where you're looking at it in so many different ways. But after time is gone, kind of time heals all wounds, and you can kind of look back at it years later and be like, no, I was manipulated and that was fucked up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it does this thing to you that it just makes you feel like you're, like, it's all on you, and why did this happen, and will I ever be better? Is it my fault? And now I don't deserve love anymore, almost, or I don't deserve these things, because like that's what I went through. Like I went through a really tough internal battle there, where I felt like I didn't
Right.
deserve anything good in my life.
Well,
Yeah.
and too, like, sometimes people are scared to leave different scenarios like that too, because
Me,
it's you don't, because we can't see the future, and because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, sometimes it's just easier for us to stay in that
Yeah.
constant cycle, rather than being like, all right, I know that this is way better for me to leave, but I'm scared because what is going to happen moving forward. And I mean, some people some people just, things never do get better, even if they pull themselves out of that cycle, and they try their best to leave a certain cycle of abuse. But for a lot of people, after getting over that initial reaction of being scared of not knowing what's going to happen, a lot of people that end up leaving things like that, they do find solace.
Mhm.
They do self what is the word, like, introspect, and they find the help that is needed.
They
Yeah.
rehabilitate.
Yeah.
And when you say help that's needed, it can almost just be music too. Like there's not like a
Right.
certain thing. It's hey, you know, I'm going through something. Let me pick my guitar up and just get it out through the chords.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
absolutely.
like it's finding your thing. And one more thing that I wanted to say is yes, there's definitely that fear of the unknown. And okay, if I leave this situation, now what? But there's also the fear of knowing, because I think when we're in a tough situation, we know that we are.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, if I leave this, I know I'm going to have to self-introspect. And
Right.
that's actually a very terrifying thing to do. And, you know, for some
Right.
people, a
Yeah.
lot of people actually, is having to be alone and be with your thoughts and be like, this is where I went wrong. How do I fix that?
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of people don't want to take that accountability and do that introspective on your own self. So it's more comfortable to just stay where you're at.
The thing there is, and I kind of want to talk about this for just a second, because like that our music, like touching on these like self versus self conflicts, like the big point of it is that we want to help with that process. Like, we want to be not just like music that people can get in their feelings to and like relate to and feel less alone, but also try to like help people figure out those pathways,
Empower them.
Yeah, exactly, empower them to figure out better. And like a big thing that people don't know about these types of situations is that really it's everybody. There is nobody that looks at that hard work, that introspection, that let me sit down and really think critically about what like change looks like, what my life looks like if I let this person go, what my life looks like if I leave this career, anything like that where there's like a big risk involved. Nobody looks at that stuff and says, yeah, I can do it. Because what you're doing is you're sitting there and you're saying, I have a problem in front of me. Let me face it without knowing what the answer is.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody finds that stuff easy. And it's like, the part that sucks is like sometimes that is the lesser of two evils. And it's just so much more painful when you don't make that decision. And honestly, like most of our music comes down to that point right there. Is just like sometimes life's hard and you don't have good decisions that you have to make on either side, but there is a best decision. There is one that is going to be better, relatively speaking, that can push you to a better place in life where things can start getting good, you know?
And I feel like we all know what the decision is too. But it's being real with yourself and trusting your kind of intuition and your gut and just making that strong move to just be like, okay, I got to fix this.
Right.
I feel like we all kind of just know internally and like really deep down.
It's like a sense for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a heavy one. Let's keep rocking out.
But
first glance taking me double speak, knowing I can just repress it. Fuck what they tell me, I know you better. And instead talking all crazy just cause you know that I would listen. Right to the point that you show me everything I'm missing. Suddenly everything about you is getting twisted. Suddenly I'm giving everybody at a distance. Why is it every time I play I become the victim? Why did I fucking listen?
Sometimes there's just words and phrases that when you scream it just feels so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I took up what I do, man. It's like
all right. Well, I wasn't expecting that, like the first half of the verse to go like that. It almost seemed like you were talking to us.
Yeah.
You know, just like really listen to what I'm saying here. I don't want to scream it. I don't want to like, do it in a weird way. I'm just going to talk to you for a second. Now listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is first glance, taking your double speak, knowing I can just repress it. Fuck what they tell me. I'd know you better in an instant. Talking all crazy just because you know that I would listen. Right to the point that you show me everything I'm missing. And we'll focus on that right now because then you scream the other parts. But just break down that first half of that verse there. Taking your double speak, knowing I can just repress it. Because I'm so used to taking it that I can just kind of internally hold on to it. Like exactly. I'm just kind of used to the pain. Fuck what they tell me, I know you better in an ist. Fuck what they tell me, I know you better. Explain that one.
So that's, you know how like anytime you're in a toxic relationship and you have like your support circle around you, your family and your friends, and they're all saying,
okay.
like say you're in a bad relationship and they're like, why are you even with this person? Like what good are they? And you're sitting here like, because I know them better than you do, right? Because you always know everything when you're in that situation.
Yeah, okay.
It's just that sort of not quite arrogant, but more in denial voice in your head telling you that, like, no, they don't know them like I do.
Yeah, it's kind of a stubbornness too. Just like I'm not. No. It's kind of like a defense mechanism too. Just
exactly.
Like, don't tell me this. I'm good. I got it. I know what I'm doing. When deep down you're just like, fuck, they're probably right though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to not scream this part or to not sing this part? Why did you decide to go the route that you did?
I'm gonna be dead ass. When we first started writing this song, I called Huber up and I was like, "Bro, what if we did some Ghost Main shit on this song?" That was it. That was it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's cool because it kind of it changes the vibe of the song up there for a minute, and then
Yeah.
you feel it rising, and you know when you're about to like scream again. So like when that was about to come in, like I knew it was, and I'm just like, like I knew, like I just felt it.
Yeah.
It was just that feeling of like, ah, shit, it's about to get heavy again.
Right.
Right to the point that you show me everything. Sorry, you were going to say something?
Yeah, and to like another pretty big important thing for us as well. Whenever it comes to like songwriting and stuff, is like we try to be very like dynamic as well, because like the more dynamic you are, the more impactful certain parts are going to really hit.
Yeah.
And so I feel with whenever we were writing that instrumentally as well, like we wanted to give the maximum impact on, like, because we had just left a nice big huge chorus, a nice big kind of like intro riff, and like a really good idea was, why don't we just bring it back, you know, like bring out a more softer verse. And what's actually cool is the clean guitar part that is in the first verse. It's that exact same thing. It's just a lower octave. So it's still cool. It's still giving you that same thing, but it's more of a somber sound versus being nice and bright.
Yeah. That's cool. You know, sometimes it's the little things that people remember in songs and tracks.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying too. Like when I was hearing that verse and you were talking it, like it took me out of the kind of mosh pit, throwing my arms up moment, and I'm like, oh, let me listen to what he's saying now. All right, what's this right here?
Yeah.
Like it kind of took you away, and then it just brings you right back into it.
Exactly.
So it's pretty cool. Right to the point that you show me everything. I'm missing. Suddenly, everything about you is getting twisted. Suddenly, I'm keeping everybody at a distance. Why is it every time I play, I become the victim? Why did I fucking listen? It's really heavy just because suddenly everything about you is getting twisted. Because now is this kind of the point where you're saying now you go back and you're analyzing things that have happened, and now my mind is going a million different directions because now I don't know which one to believe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Suddenly I'm keeping everybody at a distance because I don't know who to trust anymore.
Right.
Nope.
And it's not even, I don't, and it could be that, but it could also be like, I don't trust myself right now to be around anybody, so I'm keeping them at a distance because of me.
Yeah, because there's also that, like, we just got out of the soft part in the verse where you're like confidently saying like, no, I know them better, and now shit hits the fan and you're looking back and you're like, oh, okay, I need to doubt even myself now because I'm not making the right decision.
That's interesting. Did you decide to go back in heavy with those lyrics because the lyrics were a little heavier, so you wanted it to be with heavier instrumentals there? Did you connect those at all or no?
Actually, the instrumental was fully written before we had the lyrics, and that kind of helped shape what I wanted to do with each part.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, so when you heard it, you're like, okay, this part of the song needs this kind of writing and this kind of vocals, but this part needs to come back in at this part with something heavy too, with words.
Whenever
I like that.
Yeah, whenever I'm writing lyrics, there's always like a general message in my mind that I want to deliver. but I don't always know like exactly how the story is going to be told and like what it's going to be made up of. And when they bring us like the instrumentals, that tells me a lot of like, okay, this is the kind of perspective that the lyrics are going to be taking. Like, here's the angles that are going to be like, here's what the chorus is going to be mainly talking about. It kind of just falls into play after we hear the music.
So I probably should have asked this before we started, but John, are you the main songwriter when it comes to lyrics, or do you guys kind of do it together? What's that dynamic look like with the lyrics themselves and how they get finalized?
It's changed a lot since we got back together. I would say I have been the main lyricist. Huber and I definitely work together on everything that we do, and like there's no lyrics that I write that he doesn't approve before we actually bring it into the studio, and vice versa.
Cool.
But I have been doing the majority of the writing since we got back together. Back when we did like the Buried Alive EP, it was mostly Huber, and I stepped in for a couple of songs. It was like a 50-50, like Vindictive and We All Die. But it's gone back and forth. We were having a conversation about this not too long ago. The way I see it is like Huber and I are partners, and whoever's leading is just, it depends on the inspiration and who has it at the time and what direction we're trying to go in, really, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And in a lot of cases, John is much better at getting everything written in like a lyric format. And I can just put down like a vibe. Like I can put down the emotion. I can kind of come up with like a brainstorm of like maybe like a direction that we want to take it. And then John is real good at just like kind of taking some of my ideas and converting those into lyrics. So
sounds like a therapy session you guys have together.
Oh,
it helps. It helps. Yeah.
It's happening.
It helps. Yeah.
I bet,
Yeah.
because you start talking about these topics and you're like, well, what do you think? Or what do you think? And it's all coming from the emotions that we're feeling. And then those can spark other conversations. Before you know it, you're not even talking about the song anymore. It's like, bro, what's going on? Like, what happened?
Yeah, big time. Yeah, he and I used to go all over the place, dude. Yeah.
But that's the beauty of music and songwriting and doing this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because there are so many worse ways to let these things out. And writing lyrics and collaborating with your friends. And creating something positive out of it. Fucking awesome. Yeah. Suddenly I'm keeping everybody at distance. Why is it every time I play, I become the victim? Why did I fucking listen? I like that last line. Why did I listen? Why did I fucking listen? Excuse me. Because you can say... Get it right. Because that can also be looked both ways. Why did I listen to you? But then also, why did I listen to myself?
Mm-hmm. It's also a callback that like closes the first verse, because the first line in the song is "Why did I listen?" And it's said I'm singing it, and it's soft, and it's like in this almost disappointed, disheartened tone. And so when we bring it back in this verse, Huber comes at it with like that rage and that fury, and it really gives you the whole dynamic of what it feels like to have to ask yourself that question.
Come back to me.
And that's one of those little things I'm talking about too. Just that little that leads into the chorus. Just like that break between the verse and just that little moment there.
Little soundscapes.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Yeah. I'm a big like film geek, and I listen to like music like film soundtracks and composers and stuff, and like I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so it's cool. I just wanted to say, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like those little things that people remember, and just keeps you on your toes.
Yep.
Right.
right, hold on. There was a lot in there. Like, I was like, I'm going to pause it here. Then I was like, no, but then I switched up again. I was like, I'm going to pause it here. I was like, but wait, but I just heard this, like, really great scream. Yeah. It's very dynamic there. There's a lot of different layers.
There's a lot of it.
Like, there was a time, too, when it was, like, building up. And I was like, oh, I feel a breakdown coming. But it wasn't a breakdown. I mean, it kind of was, but it was more of, like, a lyric breakdown. It was more of, like, a heavy, like, the heavy part that I thought was coming. It did, but the heaviness was in the lyrics.
Right.
And in, like, the way that it was delivered. That was interesting. That was cool. But you started... why am I so easy to fool? Easy to use. Putting all my faith in you. What is wrong with me? Yeah. Why do I keep you? And then you go back into the course there. And that's... Okay, so this right here... And I like how this part came in during that, like, breakdown moment. Because... this is almost just that moment when you're just yelling at yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's really no questioning of who you're aiming it towards. Because like we were saying, a lot of these things can have like multiple meanings. And it could be like, oh, maybe I'm thinking about it this way. But here it's like, why am I putting my faith? What is wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this? So it seems like this section right here deserve to kind of be in that breakdown moment, because it almost feels like you are internally breaking down.
Yeah.
Like emotionally breaking down.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
It's nuts.
Well, I mean, a lot of it just has to do with like that ultimate confrontation that you have, specifically the event that this all transpired from. It's basically the big nail on the hammer, whatever, the nail words, that one,
the last nail in the coffin, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. It's something like that, because it was one of those things where I was approached and had a kind of a conversation in which somebody was trying to mend some bridges that had been burned, and ultimately I had taken that conversation at a specific type of value that obviously was misplaced. So why am I so easy to fool? Basically, easy to use. Like, it's that inner voice that I keep having with myself in situations like that, where it's like, dude, like, you should be able to see this by now. Like, time after time, somebody's told you, like, even people that are like close to the situation at hand, people have given you insight and they've like told you these things, and you know, you could have been done with this situation so much sooner had you just listened to them instead of this person. But this person has a way of making their words sound a specific type of way that kind of just really gets you going in there, hook, line, and sinker type shit. So this whole breakdown was ultimately just like a real big like gut punch to yourself, because you know, you finally got the information that kind of helps you bridge the gaps on some of the things that this person had been leaving out, obviously because they were, you know, using you to their advantage. And so the information that you get from everybody else in regards to this situation just is that final realization moment, and then you just sit there and you're looking back and you're just like, dude, what the fuck? I should have been able to see this whole time. But you being the person that you are, you don't want to believe that your friends are doing that to you, and then it's just even worse when you find out that they do that, and it's like they don't lose any sleep at night over it.
I feel the most powerful thing in what you just said was you don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
It's a denial.
Yeah.
But like internally and kind of in your gut, you know.
Yeah, because like
you don't want to believe it,
right? But like we all know,
that's hard. That's hard to do. Believing in a gut and believing somebody like that you trusted is it's hard.
Like a majority of the time, your gut instinct is correct in a lot of these situations, but
But you don't want it to be.
exactly, you're actively choosing to
Yeah.
go against it, and you want the person that you used to know to still be there because they still look like that person,
Hmm.
but they're not there anymore because they've showed their true colors, and then it's a whole fucking fiasco is what it is.
It's like trying to kill a zombie. Like
Yeah.
you look at them and you're like, no, this is my dad. Nah, bro, your dad's not in there.
Nah.
Yeah. The masks that we
Yep.
wear or that others wear can be very fooling.
Yeah, big time.
It's like I never learn. I just let you burn till the death of me. Will I ever be better than this? Craven.
That's a cool ending for that. That talk about soundscape right to talk about.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. Well, let's break down that course there. Come back to me. If you're still in there, show me anything. Will I never be better than this? It's like I never learn. I just let you burn till the death of me. Will I ever be better than this?
So,
Come back to me if you're still in there. Are you talking about the old you?
no, actually, the chorus is the one part in the song that really isn't self versus self.
Okay.
It's almost like a cry for help to the abuser, because the entire time when you're in that situation and you don't get out of it, the reason you don't get out of it is because you're hoping that they'll change, you're hoping that they'll do better. And so in between every moment of this song where you're fighting yourself and you're telling yourself to move on and do the hard thing and choose for better, the part in your brain that's like, please, to the abuser in question, like, please just prove everyone else wrong, just do something to remind me that you are worth this fight, that I was right for putting my faith in you. Please don't let me down. And that's why it's the chorus, is that it's that thought that keeps coming back and eating at you at every moment.
Where my mind goes is closure. And it's, since this one incident happened, everyone's telling me I should have seen it.
Yeah.
But I'm fighting myself because I don't want it to be true. And so if you come back to me, and if you're still here, that proves everybody wrong, and that proves me right, and that'll make me feel better and kind of bring closure to the situation. But when you don't get that closure and you don't get that validation that you were the one in the right or whatever, that'll drive you nuts. That'll drive you crazy.
Yeah.
The problem in those situations too is most of the time, whenever you really get stuck and you don't get out of it, it's because that person is doing exactly as much good as they have to do to stop you from really wanting to leave. And so it's like that thought keeps coming back because in most cases you get it. They do come back to you. They do show you that glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
And then they screw it up again, and you're back to wondering, like, how did I get here? How do I keep getting here?
And it's not even really that they do it again, and it's like, oh, they messed up, and maybe they'll learn. It almost seems like sometimes it's intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like they did it again, but because they saw I was getting better. They saw that there was a little bit of light coming in. So they wanted to kind of just fuck with me a little bit more. And now I'm back in this again. And now, once I finally was able to let it go, I'm just right back in it. why do I let when something good is happening kind of blind me in a way?
Right.
It's almost, yeah, it's like I'm in a low place, I'm down, somebody's giving me some validation, somebody's giving me love and attention, someone's telling me exactly what I want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
But then I fool myself again. I'm right back in it.
Yep.
I let it happen again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this song is to me.
Yep.
That
Wild.
honestly is exactly what we went through too.
And I actually thought that the chorus was coming back to me as like, I want that old me back again. I want the me that was genuine and full of love and trusting and not questioning everybody and questioning everything and not having any trust issues, not having any trauma. Like, show me anything. Will I ever be better than this? Like, I want to be better than this because I know I can be. It's like I never learned. I just let you burn till the death of me. Like, it just seems like if I don't do better and if that old me doesn't come back, then that's kind of it for me.
Dude, it's so cool listening to you like rationalize these lyrics, because what you are talking about there is the larger purpose of the entire EP. That like, yeah, no, that double meaning is absolutely in there, and it's meant to be interpretable so people can, hold it the way they want. But that like reaching back towards your former self and looking at like who you were before X happened, who you were before you did, whatever shitty thing, and like wondering how to get back to that. That's like a very crucial element of what the whole EP as an ensemble is about.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm able to break these down so well because it's exactly what I went through. And that, I mean, I got all these things is exactly what happened to me. Finding myself again was something that took me years to do. And all I wanted was just to be myself again after, the trauma happened. I just wanted to be me, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I was saying earlier about there's just certain things that when you yell it just feels so good. Will I never be better than this? Because it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
Yep.
Right.
This is a rough song, you guys.
So well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, no. But it definitely is. It makes you think, and I like all the little things that you guys did. Like I'm talking about, like what's it called? The from the chorus to the verse, and that I forget what you called it.
The
ambience.
Yeah, just that little ambient sound. Yeah, the soundscape, I think is what you called it. That was dope. Yeah. And then like the talking, that first half of the verse, and then going into it screaming, and it's cool. It's a lot of layers to this. So I guess then my first question after listening to the track and understanding it and understanding you guys better, looking back at it now, from the beginning of the situation that happened, what happened, the pain that resorted from it, and then kind of in your own healing, grieving process of it, you wrote a song and you collaborated with each other on it and you put it out for the world to hear, and now it's out. When you released this track, was this kind of your way of releasing what happened and kind of letting that weight go with the song?
Always is. Every time. And that's a big thing with our songs too, is most of our songs we tend to write not just about like internal struggles, but specifically stuff that like you can't say, stuff that you don't know how to talk about, or you don't know who to say it to, or you know who to say it to or how to say it, but you don't think you can. And so yeah, that, music's our way of like letting that stuff go and getting it out of our, our energy.
Or even just being at a place where you think that you've told too many people, and now people they're sick of hearing your problems.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or you feel like you're not being heard.
Or yeah. I mean, yeah, that too. I was taking it more of I'm feeling like I'm a burden talking about this so often.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put everything I just feel in this song, and then I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna release it with the music. That's
100%.
I can certainly understand that perspective. For me, I think whenever I put out any of the music, it's more to just put something out there that shows other people that other people can relate to a certain situation. It's always been something that I've taken kind of a stance on, that I don't like to talk about my problems very much. I keep everything real close to the chest. So whenever I joined the band, I definitely used that as a way to kind of cope with the things that I don't talk about. The first EP that we wrote is kind of just a mess. It doesn't really have too many cohesive things, but this new body of work that we're getting ready to release is much more tailored towards, I think, our growth and development of actually being able to give back to the community that's given so much to us, especially speaking for myself, the whole thing of like music is a way that people cope with things, and I definitely leaned real heavy on music throughout a large portion of my life, and just being able to be in a position that I'm in now and to be able to give back to other people and even inspire just the next generation or whatever, like that's my main goal with this whole thing, and it's really cool.
Well, it seems like you guys have a very kind of straight mission, and it seems like you guys know what you want to do and where you want to go with this band.
Yeah, we're definitely trying.
And it seemed like that hiatus is what you needed for this too. Yeah. Like the time just wasn't right. It wasn't right for what you needed to do and kind of what the band's mission was. So you held off, got some more life experiences, because 5 years, that's a long fucking time. Something can, your life can change overnight. So 5 years from, like you guys have gone through a lot of stuff together, and separately, and just it's more mature. It's coming from a place of looking back instead of currently being there.
Yeah. Right.
And that's what makes it and that's what makes a song like this powerful, because when an artist can put a track out like this and be so real and raw about your emotions, it's the song becomes proof in a way that you can get through it too. Like I went through all of this, and then we wrote lyrics, and then we actually like recorded it, and then we mixed or mastered it, and then we went and did some videos. Like, yes, there's life after everything. Like, just because it's tough right now doesn't mean it's always going to be that way.
Right.
And so to be in the place that you guys were in when you wrote it, and not even like released it, just wrote it, to the time to today, and now you're talking about it, it's the first single off in your new EP. It's just proof. And that's one of the powers of music. Like, it's just proof that these lyrics and what you guys are doing means something. It's not just doing it for the recognition and wanting to be in a band or whatever, because a lot of people do that. A lot of people do it for the wrong reasons, or for reasons that they don't necessarily agree with internally. But I think when you have a message and when you're doing it and you're looking at a place like this, like the song lyrics can just be that much more powerful.
Yeah,
right.
It's the kind of stuff we grew up on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy when you're at an older age, and then some of your favorite bands start doing like a 10-year anniversary of an album, or like a 25-year anniversary of an album.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, we're still listening to these lyrics 25 years later.
Yeah.
Or like the festivals, like what's it called? The one that's in Vegas, the
When We Were Young.
When We Were Young Fest.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like these bands haven't even put music out for like the last like 10 years. Like people
Right.
just want to go and hear the old stuff.
Yeah.
They want to be back in that place where those lyrics lived.
Yeah.
And where they still
Right.
live. It's pretty wild.
It is.
And then a couple of years from now, you'll be looking back at this one and seeing. I mean, you're already seeing growth from it, but it's going to be even that much more powerful 5 years from now.
Yeah.
And not even just with you, but your fans too, people who are listening to it and who connect with it.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah. It's important too to have these kind of songs and these music and this kind of music, because you never really want to forget what you've been through. Because
Right.
if you forget it, then it's very possible to relive it. So it's like
Exactly.
it's a weird place where you want to let go of it and forget about it, but you kind of have to hold on to it.
Mhm.
And so putting it into something like this, like a song, it always keeps it there as a reminder, but you've been able to release it and let it go with like the letting go of the music. So it's it's fun. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dawn,
Yes.
so not being like the face of like one of the vocalists or the songwriters, how does what your band does and the lyrics that they write, how does it help you kind of just get through your own personal stuff? Because the it seems like the songs are kind of already written, and then when they get to the songwriters, it's all right, now let's kind of put the lyrics to it. But when nothing is there and there's
Right.
no lyrics that anybody can kind of listen to and then go off of what you guys have done, when it kind of goes to the blank canvas part of what you guys do, what's that process look like for you?
Right. So our bassist Valdez and I were and our producer Robbie Joyner, all three of us are the ones that really go and make this whole like soundscape. Like that's our job, is to go in there and like really give something that we can inspire both John and Huber. And so like most of the time whenever we go about writing songs and trying to come up with these certain things, we either go into it with a specific mindset, or we go into it with being like, we're just gonna do whatever and hopefully something cool comes out. And so being able to see the progression from something that we came up with a few months ago from a song demo that was like a 1:30 song to a full fleshed out song that we spent 2 days just really like trying to vibe with and get like all these different emotions and all these different feelings out, and putting it into the actual music, and then going and having lyrics put on it of things that we can all relate to, because this certain situation that the song is written about, it happened to all of us. So we all lived it together. We all understood what happened. We all witnessed it together. And so being able to see not only the music side of it come together, but lyrically come together and then create such a powerful track that helps kind of showcase what this this EP is really about. Honestly, to me, it feels really, really great. I mean, again, I'm not very big into writing lyrics. I can't write lyrics. I'm very bad at it. But I am really proud of all the music and the sound and just the product that we're able to kind of put out there that will help out other people going through the same scenarios and like problems.
I like how you said that you're proud of it.
Yeah, well, because like we actually had somebody message us yesterday being like, hey, I'm going through a very rough spot right now. However, Craven is actually helping me out a lot.
That's
And
amazing.
So seeing different messages like that and seeing that all this like emotion and all of this hard work that we put into creating not only this song but these other like these 4 other songs that we're going to release as well, it just makes you feel proud because it's like it's cool seeing people like acknowledge the hard work and then also be into what you are doing, and they can like relate to you because again, we've all gone through it, whether it's a specific scenario or not. Everybody goes through things, and so being able to be really like humble and kind of like showcase that like, yeah, I went through this same thing, so like I can relate. You aren't alone, you know. And so
it really puts what you guys are doing into perspective too.
yeah,
Because if you were just making music and no one was really connecting with it, it would probably change things. But the fact that you're writing about something so real and raw and emotional, and people are now coming to you and saying it's helping them out, it like I said, it puts it into perspective of how big this is. It's as in it's bigger. Like music is bigger than you. Yeah, it's about writing songs and getting it out there and gaining something from it. But when you really start to break it down in lyrics and what it means to people, like music is just way bigger than sounds and lyrics. It's everything.
Yeah.
So it just shows that you guys are doing something right.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate
Definitely
that.
trying,
Yeah. Well, it seems like the intentions are there, the emotions are there, and I think I think that's awesome that people are already saying that it's helped them, because it's a very powerful track.
Right.
And I could sit here and break these lyrics down and like literally start crying about what I went through and be like, I know what you mean by this. I know what you mean by that. And like it stirs up those emotions again, and it starts, but it makes it real and it makes it raw there, and it's just like now I feel even like closer, like I feel more connected to the band now, like your band now, than I was before this.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So speaking of the EP, then, when is that coming out, and what are the plans for it? You guys touring? You guys doing local shows, like a release party? Like, what is happening with the EP?
So as of right now, we're currently waiting on one song to finish mastering. It should be done relatively soon, hopefully.
It better fucking be. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but
You're ready to release it and let go
Dude,
of it.
yes.
If anything, I'm ready to release it so I can have the entire body of work on my phone, so I don't have to just keep flipping through fucking tabs and shit all the time. It's like, dude, I'm so excited.
You're like, my computer is going to be so much more organized.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike. Sorry.
No. All good. So, but yeah, so we're looking at depending on whenever we get this last master back, we'll then be able to. We're roughly looking at in beginning to mid December is whenever this EP is hopefully coming out.
Okay, that's not too far.
Yeah. And we actually have a music video that's coming out as well with the title track of this EP. I think whenever that EP drops is whenever this music video is going to happen.
Cool.
We only have 2 shows left this year. We have one that's on Thursday this week. We're playing with Blank Slate, Lift the Curse, Soft Spoken, and a Skylit Drive here in Austin. And then after that, we have a show. I believe it's for Emo Night or something in San Antonio and that'll be on December 21st. So cool. That show, hopefully the EP will be released and we'll be able to play some newer music. But as of right now,
playing it all.
Yeah, for the show on Thursday, we're definitely playing Craven, and another song that's also on this EP is Orphan, and Orphan was released. I think back in March. I want to say. I don't remember fully 100%.
Yeah.
It says 7 months ago on YouTube. 7 months ago.
Yeah.
That sounds like March, probably.
Something like that. One of those months.
That sounds like March.
One of those months.
Yeah. Yeah. So Orphan was first, Craven second, and then these next like 3 songs are definitely going to be like brand new tracks that no one has heard, and we are super stoked on it. Like all of them, they're the best songs that we've ever like written.
Well, it sounds like that hiatus is definitely what you guys needed, and you're on the right track, and it all sounds very exciting. One last question that I had, and if you guys want to answer it individually or kind of as a band, I don't know. But seeing that you guys were so young when you started this, and then it didn't really quite pan out the way that you expected it, or it wasn't right at the time. And then you go on a 5-year hiatus. And during that time, something kind of crazy happens that you all go through. So you decide to write a song about it. And then now it's on the first EP. The journey that you guys have kind of gone was not an easy one. It seemed like there was a lot of different twists and turns you guys had to navigate. What advice would you give to a new band? Of just, if they came to you and said, hey, your music it means something. It's powerful. You guys have a message. And I kind of want to do the same thing. Where should I start? What would you tell them?
I think...
Very good question.
Yeah. I think, Huber, you should go first.
I would give a realistic take. I always encourage new up and coming artists and bands. That is a great thing when people want to make music and do that. I certainly encourage that, and I certainly mean no disparagement towards that. But if you're planning on doing this full time, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot, and every every year of your life, and you hear that, at least for me, every time that you hear that, it comes up in moments where you're not really trying to hear that. But when it comes to being in a band, if you're just doing it to be in a band and make music and just see where it takes you, by all means go for it. But if you want this to be serious, then you're going to have to be serious about it. That means you are going to have to take the bottom of the tier shows. You're going to have to play shows to ultimately the other bands. You're going to have to start somewhere, and it's not going to be fun. I don't envy the bands that are starting in this age of AI. It is a very intimidating and daunting task.
You're the first one to bring that up. When I've asked advice in like this section, this portion of the interviews, you're the first one to bring up the AI portion of bands now coming. That's interesting.
It's a scary time. It's weird to think about, but again, I know that I take a very drastic, almost doom and gloom type stance, but again, being in a band is so very rewarding. And if you're doing it for, I'm not necessarily meaning like right as in like I know better, but I'm just saying like if you're doing this for the reasons that fit for you and make you feel like you're doing something good, then by all means, however, in whatever aspect you want to pursue this, please do. But if it's going to be serious, you are going to have to make the sacrifices that really, really fucking hurt. If you want this band to pick up and take off, you have to put in the work for it. And that has definitely been something that I've been kicking my ass up and down the tarmac over, dude. Like that's a hard one for me, but I've been slowly getting up there and catching up with these guys. So
I actually really love that answer a lot. I feel like it was brutally honest, and I like how you say it is going to suck.
Yeah,
there are going to be times where this is going to suck hard.
Yeah,
I like that.
Gonna be a lot of them.
Yeah,
but it's worth it.
It's very worth it. Like again, like I definitely don't mean to sound so negative about it because again,
it's just
like
real.
this is the best time of my life. Like these guys that I'm making this music with wouldn't replace it for the world.
Hell yeah.
But
you have to love what you're doing. If the love isn't there, if the passion isn't there, then you're not going to put the time and effort that it takes to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're not going to do that, then it's not going to work. And you will be, and you'll just keep playing shows that you'll keep having those shows where you're like, where you keep feeling like, yeah, we're right there, but that crest never happens. You just keep hitting that. If you don't put your shoulder into that wheel, man, it ain't going nowhere.
Well, okay, so I love this because it's almost like you guys took an approach of like, if it was meant to happen, it's going to. Like you started this like what almost 10 years ago now, and then it was like a hiatus.
More than 10 years ago. Yeah,
probably over 10 years ago. And then it was like, okay, it took a hiatus, but it was always kind of there. So it's like you guys knew that like, okay, there's something here, but we have to figure out the right way of going about it. And the break that you needed was kind of that break of what I was saying in the very early on in the episode. It was like, those are serious years in your life about college and school and family, marriage, whatever, relationships. And so if you're doing it for the right reasons, it'll happen. Maybe the timing might not be the best, but if you're doing it for the right reasons and you're doing it when you know that you can put that effort into it, and you're being honest with yourself, knowing that you can put the time and effort into it, then it'll happen. And that's what happened with you guys. The time wasn't right before, so you didn't do it.
Right.
You knew that like that effort that you were just talking about, that giving it your all, the sucking moments, like you have to be emotionally and mentally prepared to be in a band. It's not just let's go make music and let's just have fun with it. No, like you have to be things have to be right in your life in order to make that happen. And I think that answer is very raw and brutal and honest.
Right. John, do you have any other input in that?
Yeah. A big thing that I would like if I were to talk to a younger version of myself, and be like, "Hey, know this going into a band." Really, assuming the goal is like you want to go out and be touring, you want to go send a message, you want to go make this be your life. You have to understand that the people that are going to be in your band, they're not going to be people you just see every week and tolerate whenever you're at band practice. They're not going to be coworkers. They're not going to be arm's length people. They're going to be your family. They're going to be people who outlive a lot of your other relationships. They're going to outlive other career paths that you're going to take. I can't think of anything that I've ever pursued in life that Micah wasn't there to see me start at this point. And the reality there is that whenever you first start getting into a band, and especially us when we were like 15, 16, 17, 18, there's a lot of ego that goes into the expectations of what that means, especially coming out of that early 2000s era of like the rock stars and like, Ronnie Radke was getting big and starting to do his shit. And like now you
pissing everybody off.
Pissing everybody off. Now you see.
Well, he's still doing that.
Yeah, coming out and just being cool as shit, doing whatever he wants, and it doesn't matter if you're the guitarist. It doesn't matter if you're the drummer. It doesn't matter if you're the vocalist. There is ego that goes into that, and there's all these questions that come up that don't need to come up. Who's the band leader? Who's the brains of the operation? Who's the person that's keeping the engine? It doesn't matter. You're all doing it. Mm-hmm. You're all best friends. You're all family members. You're all on this pirate ship, and nobody's getting off the pirate ship to hit land if you're not all working together. It doesn't matter who the leader is. It doesn't matter who that. You're better off not having a leader. You're better off just learning what each other is good at and learning to rely on each other and learning to trust each other and learning to love each other through the shit that you don't like. Because you spend that much time around people, you're not going to like everything about them. But despite that, there's not a single person in this band that I don't love to death that I wouldn't take a bullet for. So that really is the big thing I would say is, focus on it being a family. Don't focus on what you can get out of it, because you're all going to get something out of it anyway, and you're all going to bring something forward and put something really good into the world if your heart's in the right place. And I personally think anything like that starts with family.
That's really powerful, because when you look at a band who has been successful, who have kind of lasted like the test of time, are the ones who see their band like that, who are like brothers, who are like family. And I think where that really starts is in trauma, like what you guys all went through. Like that brought you all together, and then you have been able to move on to it together. And so that trust is there now. It's like, okay, we went through this one thing together, and it sucked, but we did it together. And now we've moved on together. And then when it talks about, when you guys are talking about like writing songs together, you have to be very emotional and authentic to your bandmate. And if you don't trust them, you can't open up. And if you're not opening up, you're not creating the music that you want. So you have to be able to accept that and be like, okay, this is the position that I'm in. I have to be open, especially if I'm writing lyrics and they have to mean something. Me and this other dude have to be like this, because it has to be
100%.
And it sounds like you guys are like all on that mindset.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something?
Yeah, yeah. So I would say I totally agree with both Huber and John. Like those are extremely strong points. Like it, especially like getting along with everybody, because like sometimes like people do things that you don't necessarily like, and like I know in the past we've all definitely had to kind of go through certain things with members and different scenarios like that, but like coming together and like being friends and enjoying what you do is the ultimate thing, because like whenever it comes down to it, like at a certain point your band does stop being like fun and it starts like becoming like a real business. And whenever it becomes a real business, like you kind of have to go and do the things that suck, um such as like figuring out how to go about like making merch and doing like taxes and doing like actual business side of things. But with that being said, like you can lose people on that as well, because like some people just might want to do the band stuff for fun and that's it. But if you guys stop getting along, you stop, like someone develops a certain ego and stuff, and it stops being fun for everybody involved, like then that's where things go downhill like really really quickly. And so like another thing too, like mine is more of a music perspective as well, is like one thing is like you you really need to go in, and some of the advice that I would give myself if I was talking to 20-year-old me, like almost 12 years ago, would be like songwriting. Songwriting is huge. It's a massive aspect of it, and it takes a really long time to get good at writing songs. And like I've probably written easily over like 100 songs, and like listening to the song demos from whenever we first did our first songs back in like 2013, they were absolute garbage. Like we all couldn't even write like a full song like individually. It was everybody sat in there. Yeah, everybody sat inside one room, and like one person came up with one riff, and then one person came up with like another riff and things, and that's super awesome. However, whenever we broke up, I had to really figure out like how do I go about writing songs. Like I had never written more than like a certain lead part or a certain rhythm part or something like that. And I spent a really really long time just like figuring out like what makes these songs that I enjoy, like what makes those songs really good. And so just really breaking it down, like, oh, why did this person use this chord, and why is this lead so far back, and like it's not clashing with the vocals, it's not clashing, like it's basically background noise because it's letting certain things shine. And that's a huge aspect of it too, which also dives into like people's egos and stuff, is like you have to learn how to benefit the song rather than benefiting what you ultimately want out of it. because like making a great song is beneficial for everybody involved, rather than you being able to like play like a super crazy shreddy solo for like 2 minutes straight, right?
Yeah.
So that was a really big factor that came into play that I've had to learn myself, is how to benefit the song and how to benefit the band within specific roles.
Interesting. You guys all have a very interesting approach to all of this, and it's kind of a little bit different in a way, but it all like comes together and helps create this madness.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, that's also something else that you got to remember too. I won't go on to a huge tangent about it though, but you're like take Vilamoura for example. We're all 5 individual people,
Yeah.
so we all kind of have to figure out a way that some ideas are put on the table, and some of those ideas are unanimously shat on and pushed to the side. Others are, kind of deliberated against and just not used. Some are used in
Yeah.
certain demos and then cut out of certain final products. And,
Yeah.
you just have to be willing to take everybody's criticism in a constructive way and not take it so personally, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
Yes.
you are working as a single piece in a cohesive unit, and you all have to work together to get a good product out that every single one of you in that project are happy with. And as long as you guys are on the same page, that'll typically tend to be a continuation thing. Yes, it's not going to be perfect, not every single time. You will have arguments. There will be a little bit of headbutting. But if you have the friendship to back up all of this, if you have the relationship to back it all up, then that's all that's going to be. It's just business partners arguing. And at the end of the day, you should not allow that to come in between you. You guys are just making music. Like,
You don't take it home.
figure it out. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And yeah, constructive criticism is a huge factor as well. Like you have to be okay with someone telling you, hey, unfortunately, like I know that you're really into this song demo, it sounds great to you, but overall I just don't see it working out. These are the things that could be better, and then just take that and try to redo it. Try to give us a better product. And it's really hard to sit there and have someone tell you that what you just poured your entire like soul into does not sound that great. And that's
But
fine.
if the trust is there,
right,
and
Yeah.
it's all
exactly.
good. And you know that it's not a personal thing. It's what you were saying. It's we have to do what's right for the band. So we have to have these tough conversations.
Right.
There has to be some tough love, but there also has to be a balance of respect and understanding, like what you're saying too, of like this person just wrote something that they love, but I don't think this is going to work. Let's save this for something else. And if it's meant to happen, we'll be able to use this at some point.
Exactly.
Well, everybody listening, I think just listening to these dudes talk, I think this is the definition of what the word band means. I mean, I couldn't give a better definition of band than where you guys are all coming from.
That's awesome, dude.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Very high
Thank you
praise.
so much. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's good. It's a yeah, no, you guys you guys are doing something special here, and I like it a lot. And it's showing through not even just your words, but like how you're even delivering them too. I don't know, it's kind of
Awesome.
cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, of course. Um, well, where after listening to Craven and wanting to, and if they're craving new songs to listen to, after Craven, where can they find you at? Where's the best place to go and listen to some of your older tracks and to keep updated on the new EP?
We have everything. We have everything on most major platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. I'm sure we have it on some of the other platforms as well. But as far as the big three, we're on there. Spotify, I believe I remember reading in a message, Spotify should have updated show dates and everything like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Otherwise, if not, you're always welcome to swing on by our website, vilamouraband.com. And that has all of our music, it has all of our show dates, it has an online store. You can pick up some merch.
Hell yeah.
We'll do all that.
Hell yeah. Grab some sick merch.
We do also post on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Well, so Facebook and Instagram, we usually post about 3 times per week. It's usually Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we usually always will give some kind of information on like shows or like whatever song that we're trying to promote or something like that. And then I believe John runs, John and Valdez run TikTok, and I believe they post every day on that.
Yep.
Every day.
At
Wow.
least once a day.
Cool.
Yeah.
Being
Minimum
active.
once a day.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
And then and then you got a show coming up with one of my boys, John from Lift the Curse. You got those dudes playing. Have you guys played with them before?
Yes, we've. I think we've played 2 or 3 shows with them so far.
Oh, cool.
Since 2023 or so, and they are so good live. Yeah, they are. They're really, really good.
I
John,
bet the energy that just because when I interviewed them, I was only interviewing John,
Yeah.
but like his energy, man, there's something special there. Like that
Yeah.
dude is just so happy. He loves what he does, and it's like you could just tell he's having fun with it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they
Love it.
They definitely show that on stage, and like John is a phenomenal guitar player.
He
And
is.
Ryan is a really good singer. Like
He is, yeah.
Everything that he does whenever they are recording songs, like live is 100% perfect. Like he fucking nails it every single time. He's so good.
Well, I would love to see you guys play together. And when I host Mental Fest, I don't know if that's the name of it. When I host Mental Fest in Austin, Texas, we gotta get you guys there together.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get you guys there together again.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for doing this. This stuff is not easy to talk about.
Right.
And the fact that you're putting yourselves out there, not only in music, but in interviews and telling people your story and the raw emotions of it too, and letting it out. I think like you're headed down like the perfect path that it seems like you guys want to be going down, and of being able to provide hope and not only sing about wanting to change, but actually doing it too, like in interviews and talking your story and showing that there is hope and you can get out of it, and that using music as therapy, not only just even putting it out, but how you guys write lyrics together and it feels like a therapy session. It's good just for you internally, just by yourself, even if it's not putting it out. Just the art of music and creating it is such a great outlet to let these kind of tough emotions out.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's cool to kind of then now look back on it and be like, oh shit, like this song is like a trophy for us. We can put this like on our studio wall and be like, we went through this hard time together, but now look at us.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful message.
Absolutely.
And I think you guys are going to be doing even bigger things here very shortly too. So I'm stoked to see
Hopefully
the
so.
progress of
We
your
shall
guys'
see.
band, and And yeah, we got to do this again once the
Absolutely.
EP's out,
I would
and
love to.
yeah, once the EP's out, we'll break down another one.
Yeah, let's do it. We got plenty.
Hell yeah. Everybody, go listen to Craven from Vilamoura. And once you're there, check out all the other things they got going on. Buy some merch, support them at a local show, or even just go give them a like on their Instagram page. That all those little things go a big way. Guys, thank you so much. You rock.
Thank
Love
you.
the track.
Thank you.
And we're gonna do this again
you.
very, 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 very soon.
Right on.